Hi, and welcome to Stuff That's Fun to Think About But Is Probably Generally Useless. I'm SB Dane. Today, we're going to be talking about Christmas. So, pretty much everyone knows that Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. But there are still some things that bother me about Christmas, and I'm not going to compromise on analysis just because of favoritism. To be specific, I have serious issues with the Rudolph song, and that's why I'm going to analyze the crap out of it. So the prelude assumes that we know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen, but asks if we recall the most famous reindeer of them all. Now, just as an introductory side note, the names Vixen and Blitzen are really cool, even though Vixen is a reindeer, not a fox. But that's not important right now. The more pressing thing is that they've acknowledged from the start that Rudolph is the most famous reindeer of them all. So obviously the song was written post-incident. And since we know that thing about how history is written by the winners, i.e. the reindeer community in this case, you just know there's going to be bias everywhere in the song. Even more so because a human is singing this song, and it's a happy song, which implies that the whole thing is supposed to just be Rudolph's backstory, which means that, oh yeah, there's going to be tragedy, but that's life. And that's why he turned out the way he did. Now, the first verse goes that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Now, the very shiny nose that glows was obviously not a lifestyle choice for Rudolph, because we know how the story goes. The phenotype-based name-calling is obviously bullying, because no other reindeer had attachments to their name. And then, coming to the line, if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. The author is totally shifting blame in a dastardly attempt to diffuse the responsibility of the bullying, empowering reindeer community, who clearly hired him to write the song in their image. On to the next verse, where all of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names, and they never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Now note the extreme words all and never. Even the author has to admit that Rudolph was being bullied and ostracized. That's already pretty bad, but since we figured out earlier that the author is in cahoots with the other reindeer, we can extrapolate that this is the mild version, and it's likely that much worse stuff happened to Rudolph. On to the next verse. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" So I'm supposed to believe that Santa was just conveniently not around until now. Like, man, you do nothing except deliver presents at Christmas, and you're telling me you had no time to organize reindeer sensitivity training? And plus, if he had so much authority, why did he let it get that far? I mean, I get the argument that Santa stepped in before things went too far, and it's fine because no physical harm was done, but that mental damage isn't something that's just gonna go away. Though I guess I do have to admit it was pretty nice that Santa cited the feature that others had an issue with, the weird red glowing nose, and gave Rudolph an opportunity to make that into a strike. That was pretty cool of him. And on to the final verse. Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, "Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history." Then how the reindeer loved him. Hypocrites! And they're still using that nickname that would have had negative connotations for Rudolph. It's not very encouraging at all if the name they used to abuse him is what's published. Unless, of course, Rudolph himself used it, in which case it's fine because he's turning his humiliation into something empowering. But otherwise, that's just like a stupid, jealous jab that the other hypocrite reindeers are trying to say, "Oh, you're famous now, but you were still a freak, man." Told you I had a problem with this song. Anyway, in conclusion, the reindeer community is garbage. Second, Santa needs to make up his mind about how involved he is with the reindeers, and if he is more involved, he has to keep a closer eye on these guys. And finally, the point I will literally fight people for, bullying is really freaking horrible, and Rudolph deserves much more justice than, "Oh, we're cool with you now." The end. Thank you.